I don't think it would be that hard to figure out who it is, considering Donald Trump said this. Here it is. You know, it started off with Dan Scavino. I said, Dan, how do you work this thing? And I started dictating. I began by dictating to Dan and a couple of other people that we had, but they weren't Dan. And I dictate something.
So, listening to Don Lemon, Tassan Piker, Katie Fang, and I can't remember who else there just now. I want to say that. Excuse me. I gotta give her flowers,
man. Something, I dictate something, and all of a sudden people started following, and then on occasion, like a...
Hello, my name is...
Okay, cool. Ads, bro. Who is that? It's telling me it's my bedtime. Hughes
will be on as well. MSNBC legal analyst, former prosecutor, and civil rights attorney will join us in a bit. He is going to join us. She's an attorney. Joining us is Akilah Hughes. She's a writer, a comedian, and a host of...
It's a good show. I don't know when Don Lemon left CNN, I guess it was. But I feel like it was fairly recently, probably the last year or two. I knew that he existed. I didn't know... I don't think I ever really heard him. If I heard him speak, it was just like generic news speak. You know, I didn't listen to his show. I never watched CNN. Thank God. But that doesn't mean I'm out of the woods. I've really started to enjoy his work a lot. I mean, he's incredibly inspiring. He's obviously good at what he does. I could go on and on and on. And I never watched any of Hassan's streams, but I've been watching a lot more of his content in the obviously for years he's been out there. I really enjoy, doesn't matter. My point is, it's weird to me to think about how giving him attention seems like it gives him power. Because it used to seem like we had to pay attention to make sure he didn't destroy everything, which he was obviously trying to do. But it seems like there were people watching him. Now it seems like there's nobody watching him. But I think everybody knows he's crazy. I think everybody's sick of his shit. I think he's damn nearly destroyed our economy. He's done what it seems like Republicans do. He's come in, he's made the rich richer, the poor poorer, and he's going to open up things so that we can, flourish and have a growth stage. Hopefully, that's what usually happens. The concern now, of course, is like, damn, dude, did he fuck it up so bad that it can't be put back together again? Like, what the fuck, dude? Why would you be so cruel and stupid and reckless and disrespectful? And, people will say, it doesn't matter, He's just the puppet. It's the people pulling the strings you gotta worry about, dude. Who are these people? You've been saying this shit for years. You don't know who any of them are? Like, if I truly believed in my heart of hearts that there were certain people making the world worse, probably become one of those crazy people, you know? Be like a ninja, Batman, but evil, or whatever, you know? Why, like, I can't believe that that's the case because I don't have the evidence. It's possible. Anything's possible. But to use that as an excuse to support Trump because you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. Seemed like he did what he was supposed to do. He exposed the system for what it is. I doubt if Kamala had been president. I will say that. After all these years, his second term. And that's why I'm drinking this champagne right now. I kept the champagne in the fridge for a couple months now. Or maybe, has it been over a year? I've been hoping he would die for like over a year now, right? For years, but like the last year, it's like, oh my gosh, do I need to flee my country? You know? Would he just die so that we could all live in peace again? Like, we don't have to, like, how the fuck can it be possible? Because, okay, the other thing is, you know, the deep state, Stephen Miller, and I'm sure some of the deep state, but we all fucking know Stephen Miller is Goebbels, right? I guess you get Steve Bannon. Obviously, you got a little Epstein juice up in the mix. All the other fuckheads. Little fucking neo-Nazis and opportunists like Greg Bovino, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel. So you fucking mash it all together and you get masked federal agents with 47 days of training on the streets, executing people in public, kidnapping people, broad daylight, children. How does that happen in 2026? It makes sense to me only when my mind is picturing like Pac-Man or like Minesweeper computer, like some kind of a virus, bacteria in a cellular system where you just have so much of the human body, right? And there's like a virus and it's like in your lungs. And it's like, alright, it's coming through. It's going to fucking poison your whole body. But then immune cells start. So it's like we lose, like anytime you get hurt or an illness in the body, the Magic School Bus, you can imagine that like there's cells and like a little mini war, right? Between like millions of cells, right? And it's like Minnesota has been millions of heartbreaking moments. But compared to Gaza, for instance, or any number of other places, right? Any number of other things that are going on in the world at this point in time that we know of, it's like saying it's a drop in the bucket is disrespectful, but I have to believe that we're going to come out of the other side of this. And what I started this video to say is that I'm honestly very excited about this. And the reason I popped this bottle of champagne, even though, because I mean, hell, for all I know, he did just die today when I popped this bottle. But I'm of the opinion of Darren Monroe. I was like wanting witchcraft. It's all to get a bottle and put it in the fridge and wait for that day. But Darren Monroe, if you look him up on YouTube, has got a point. At this point, the longer this guy stays in there, the worse he makes things for the Republicans. And I don't think anything good has happened because of him. I could be wrong. I don't think anything he has done is good. I can't think of a single thing that he has done that is good. Other than, other than leading to the release of the Epstein files and revealing the truth. Um, I don't think the Epstein files would have been released like they have been had Kamala won. I think things would have generally been better. I think we should have ran Bernie the first fucking time and whooped his ass and never heard from him again. But no, we just fucking had to give Hillary her turn, which I get. I get it. But just the thought that, like, I was dating a beautiful woman at the time who was an accolade. I've already talked about this week. I've let it out. We're going to let it all the way out. She convinced me to vote for Hillary because she was a better alternative to Trump. And I do think that she was. But I was not going to vote. I was disheartened. I was disappointed. It was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we had a candidate that was going to beat him. And then to say he wouldn't beat him, so we have to run her, it's like, I actually don't believe that. I don't think you believe that. You just think, like, that's what the controlled opposition theory is all based on, but it's worse than that. It's like, it's a neoliberal capitalism fetish thing where it's like we've got to have poor people living on the streets, otherwise the system won't work. Like, we all just want to be rich over here, which I get because money makes things easier. It makes things so much easier, but it doesn't guarantee happiness. I think most of us want enough and maybe a little bit more. And everybody say, well, how much is a little bit more? Like, nobody should have, I think we can easily agree. If millionaires can't get on board with this, then we'll go down to millionaires. I think we should say nobody should have more than $1 million if they're not willing to help. If you have $1 million, if you don't have more than $100 million, then you've at least got to come to the Zoom meetings. Okay? Between $1 million and $100 million, you have to come to the Zoom calls. But over $100 million, you don't get to have. Okay? Because there are people living in tents on the street and shit, you know? So, like, until people are no longer doing that, until everybody is afforded a house just by default, nobody gets to have more than $100 million. You can have up to $100 million, but that's it. And you're gonna be like, oh, people are gonna figure out how to make that. Gonna get to $997 million. Okay. Okay. They're gonna squeeze everything they can. I don't think that's how math works. I think that kind of thing could work, right? Like, let's just start there. And then we can work our way out. Like, okay, $100 million, no homeless people. Got that done? Okay. Let's go up to $200 million. You can have up to $200 million, whatever the fucking, what numbers I said. 99. I should have said 99 million if it's 100 million. But, you know. $200 million, like, you can have up to $200 million. If you have more than $200 million, you can no longer have more than $200 million as long as there are people without, you know, enough food to feed their family. Like, hands down. You'd be like, oh man, you're gonna buy soda and cigarettes. Oh, fucking K. Okay. You would probably want fucking soda and cigarettes if all you had was just enough too, right? Don't we all? Once you have enough, or more than enough, you're like, shit, dude. I don't even want soda or cigarettes. That shit's bad for you. But you can have it in the fucking fridge just in case you want one. Right? That scarcity we're talking about? Fuck, dude. It's wild. Just to we have the knowledge, we have the information. We know that we have enough. We have enough. There's enough space. Let somebody sleep in your backyard. That's what I'm working on. Okay? I'm working on it. It is a sticky situation, especially right now. Like, problem is, in my mind, when I think of letting somebody sleep in my backyard, it's like, okay. I mean, one thing, if I could be here all day, like I used to be when I worked from home. It'd be another thing if I had a small budget, just to be like, put a fucking porta-john out there or something to a degree, or like, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't even have to, but I read Ayn Rand when I was probably in my early 20s, right? Somebody introduced me to Ayn Rand. And I really love the idea that, like, if and because I work hard, if I work hard and because I work hard, and I put in more than average effort, if I dedicate time to learning, improving myself, improving my skill set, learning more, whatever, honing my craft, I could be rewarded and live a luxurious, rich life. Because I've always liked to think that I was special. But I feel like it's like that with everybody, Like, I think some people probably would prefer just like a small apartment to keep it clean. I seem to prefer as much land as I can have around me so that I can, like, grow bamboo and stuff. And I like having deer around. And to have a pit bull. She likes to run fast, so I have enough land for her to run around. And I almost feel guilty. But I do pay for it. And it's not getting cheaper, so anyhow. I'll be back with another diary entry. I'm going to finish this bottle of champagne. And this is to Donald Trump sinking the Republican Party, because that is definitely what he's doing.